Even Marcus Aurelius fell. Not once. Often. Despite ruling the known world, he struggled with impatience, frustration, and grief. He wrote to himself not as a man who had mastered Stoicism, but as one who needed constant reminders. When you wake up in the morning, he wrote, tell yourself, today you will meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. This was not cynicism. It was preparation. Marcus did not write from a throne. He wrote from a military camp, in war, under pressure. And still, he reminded himself, return to reason. Return to virtue. Return to what is within your control. The clarity he sought was not once earned and forever held. It was practiced, reclaimed, and repeated. So too with Epictetus. Born into slavery, his life was not his own. But his mind was. Some things are up to us, and some are not. He returned to that truth in every lesson. He knew the anger that rises in the face of injustice. He knew the temptation of despair. And he knew the need to return to discipline, again and again. Seneca, brilliant and conflicted, wrote letters filled with advice he did not always follow. But his wisdom came not from a life untouched by error, but from one seasoned by it. No man becomes good all at once, he said. He did not glorify falling. But he accepted it. The task is not to never stumble. The task is to use each fall as an opportunity to rise more wisely. The Stoics never promised perfection. They promised mastery through effort. They knew that to be human is to err, to forget, to fail. But they also knew that within us lies the power to begin again, to return to the practice with humility and resolve. This is what makes Stoicism a discipline, not a destination. It is lived daily, sometimes poorly, always with the chance to return. The measure of the Stoic is not how rarely they fall, but how faithfully they rise. Don't waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, Marcus wrote. He was writing to himself. Because he had. He was not immune to distraction or bitterness. But he returned. The return is not passive. It is not casual. It is the most difficult and most necessary act, to pause, to reflect, to recognize the misstep without shame, and to begin again. You will forget what matters. You will indulge your ego. You will react instead of respond. And when you do, remember, so did the Stoics. What made them Stoics was not their perfection. It was their persistence. They did not stay fallen. They returned. In modern life, failure feels final. A missed workout, a forgotten principle, a poor choice, these are treated as evidence of inadequacy. But to the modern Stoic, they are not endings. They are beginnings. Stoicism does not ask you to be unshakable. It asks you to be willing. Willing to return. Willing to restart. Willing to rebuild. The discipline is not in being flawless. It is in the rhythm of return. You skipped your morning reflection. But now, you pause. You breathe. You write. You come back. You lashed out in frustration. But now, you apologize. You trace the cause. You recommit. You wasted the morning. But now, you reclaim the afternoon. This is the Stoic rhythm. Fall, reflect, return. Again and again. It is not a performance. It is a practice. It is not aesthetic. It is anchored. You are not asked to be a statue, unmoved and untouched. You are asked to engage, fully and honestly, to know your tendencies, your temptations, your triggers, and still, to choose the path of discipline. In an age of metrics and comparison, it is easy to abandon the path at the first misstep. But the Stoic does not track perfection. They track persistence. As Marcus wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Setback is not an obstacle to Stoic practice. It is the soil from which the practice grows. You are not weak for falling. You are human. The question is, will you return? Modern life is noisy, distracted, urgent. It will pull you away. You will forget. But you can return. With a breath. with a word, with a choice. Let return become your rhythm. Let the fall remind you, not define you. Return to the journal. Return to the virtues. Return to the inner citadel. Let go of the need to be perfect. Replace it with the resolve to be present. Every day brings a test. You will not always pass. But each day also offers a new beginning. The Stoic meets that opportunity with courage, humility, and care. Fall. Reflect. Return. This is the rhythm. This is the work. And this is enough. And now let's draw 11 principles for the Stoic. Principle 1. Return is the measure of strength. To fall is inevitable. To return is a choice. Stoicism does not measure virtue by uninterrupted success but by the discipline to recommit. When you stumble, pause. Reflect. Begin again. Marcus Aurelius, though emperor, reminded himself daily to return to reason. Seneca, despite his contradictions, never stopped striving. The true Stoic is not flawless, but faithful. What defines the Stoic path is not how consistently you remain on it, but how quickly and humbly you return when you stray. Strength lies not in being unmoved, but in being willing to come back. Principle 2. Philosophy is practice, not performance. Modern life encourages us to display rather than develop. But Stoicism is not a performance. It is not for admiration. It is for anchoring. To the Stoic, the work is internal. The reward is integrity. You skipped the journal? Right now. You lost your temper? Apologize. The practice continues. Let go of the expectation of constant discipline. Replace it with a rhythm of return. Show up, not for applause, but for alignment. Principle 3. Let the fall teach you. Falling is not failure if it leads to clarity. When you stray from principle, let that moment instruct you. What emotion pulled you off course? What fear did you obey? The Stoic sees each misstep not as shameful, but as a signal. It reveals where the soul still needs training. Epictetus fell. Marcus fell. They did not waste it. Neither should you. Use the fall as feedback. Let it sharpen your next step. Principle 4. Reclaim the day. A bad morning does not demand a wasted day. A missed moment does not demand a ruined rhythm. The Stoic reclaims the time ahead. They do not declare the day lost at the first error. They do not throw away what remains. Seneca reminds us that we own the present. Reclaim the afternoon. Regain your footing. Begin the work anew. The day is not over. It has only just become yours again. Principle 5. Begin again with humility. To return is an act of strength. But it is also an act of humility. It requires the courage to admit imperfection, to lay down pride, and to choose again. The Stoic is not ashamed to begin anew. They understand that the path is not linear. It is winding, revisited, revised. Humility keeps us from despair. It reminds us that perfection is not required, but presence is. The goal is not purity. It is persistence. Principle 6. Rituals are anchors, not chains. Your morning routine, your journal, your reflections, these are not signs of perfection. They are tools for return. Missed one? Then use the next. The Stoic does not worship the habit. They use it. When the structure is broken, they do not abandon the practice. They rebuild it. Discipline is not rigidity. It is flexibility guided by purpose. Rituals serve you. If they break, pick them up again. Let the habit be your helper, not your master. Principle 7. The Stoic rhythm: fall, reflect, return. This is the living pulse of Stoicism. Not perfection, not permanence, but rhythm. Fall, reflect, return. Again and again. You do not graduate from the practice. You move deeper into it. And each return carries wisdom the last did not. The Stoic is not ashamed of this cycle. They trust it. They honor it. Let others chase linear progress. Let them fear relapse. You choose rhythm. You choose return. This is the way. Principle 8. Presence over perfection. Perfection is seductive, but it is not Stoic. What matters is presence, showing up, here, now, after the slip. The desire to be perfect often hides the fear of being honest. Let it go. Return to the moment with open eyes. Return to your principles without shame. The Stoic holds their standard high, but not as a weapon. It is a direction, not a demand. You failed? Fine. What now? The Stoic answer is, be here. Begin. Principle 9. Mistakes are human. Return is divine. You will err. Often. So did the Stoics. This does not exclude you from the practice. It qualifies you for it. Every mistake is proof you are human. But return, that quiet act of recommitment, that is what makes you resilient. You don't have to avoid every misstep. You have to return. That is your task. That is your honor. And that is enough. Principle 10. Use the present. Don't punish it. You made a mistake. The question is not how long you dwell on it. The question is, what will you do now? Stoicism doesn't ask you to carry guilt. It asks you to carry wisdom. The present is not for punishment. It is for practice. Use it. Pick up your journal. Take a walk. Return to your virtues. Let the present be the place where clarity begins again. The past is over. This breath is yours. Principle 11. The discipline of the return. To return is not weakness. It is a skill. A discipline. It means you are watching, paying attention, willing to adjust. In a world of all-or-nothing thinking, the Stoic chooses consistency over drama. You left the path? Then return. You dropped the habit? Pick it up. No need for self-reproach. No need for delay. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. So practice returning now. Make it immediate. Make it normal. This is the work.